So we rolled together, jumped into the car, and so we drove for about 20 minutes, right, to what I thought was going to be a restaurant. Instead, Dave pulls over into an abandoned parking lot. Kills the engine, looks over at me and goes, "All right, dude, we're here." I was like, "Where? At my murder scene?" I was like, "No, dude, we're getting tacos over there." And he points, and in the corner of the parking lot was a truck. Right? A food truck, yeah, which I've now learned is quite common in America. In fact, some of the best food you'll find at a food truck. But at that moment in time, you have to forgive me, I was a little bit apprehensive. Okay? Yeah, I just wasn't quite comfortable with the idea of getting my food from an establishment that would not be there the next day. I feel like there's a certain level of accountability that comes with permanence. Dave was adamant, though. He's like, "Dude, you gotta get it from a truck, dude. That's how you know it's real." I was like, "All right, well, let's just get this over with. Let's do it." So I hop out of the car, walk up to the truck. And it was definitely a taco truck, because there's a sign above it flashing that read, "Tacos. Tacos. Tacos." And by the way, weird piece of trivia about me as a person. I hate signs that flash but don't change. Yeah, I always feel like a sign shouldn't be allowed to flash unless it intermittently changes to some other information. Otherwise, I think that's wasted suspense. It should be illegal. Because it always catches my eye, and then I wait for something else, like tacos, and tacos. And what else? Tacos. Anything else? Tacos. Just stay on tacos! Anyway, now I'm irritated. I walk up to the truck, and as I get there, this little dude pops out, and he was in a completely different mood to me. You could tell. He just popped his head. I was like, "Hey, how you doing, man? You want some tacos?" I said, "It would be awkward if we didn't." He says, "What? Oh, yeah, of course, man, of course. But you never know. Maybe you want something else, yeah?" I said, "Oh, what else do you have, my friend?" He said, "No, nothing, man. It's a taco truck." I said, "Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's a moment of my life I'll never get back. Thank you very much." I said, No, calmate, man. I'm just saying, I don't want to waste your time. You want tacos? Let's do tacos. How many tacos you want, my friend? I said, "Well, I don't know how many tacos to get, sir. I've never had tacos before." So you've never had tacos? I said, "No, I have." "You've never had tacos?" He's like, "Oh, you should meet my friend Dave." Because I'm not going to order food when I don't know what it is, okay? I don't know what the quantities are. I don't know what tacos are. I don't know what taco is. I don't know what taco be, okay? What do you say? How many do you get? Because just now I'm going to be like, "Give me 5. What if tacos like little pigs or something? I'm like, "Give me 5. Next thing I'm walking home with this, wee. And that's how I started my farm. Like I have no clue what these things are. So I'm like, "Yo, man, I just want to try the food. Just give me enough to try." He's like, "Okay, you just trying it out. 2 tacos is enough, my friend." I said, "Okay, then give me 2 tacos." He's like, 2 tacos, coming up. Guy goes to the back, starts preparing the food. I have no clue what's coming out. Comes back a few minutes later. He's like, "Hey, my friend, your tacos are ready." I said, "Oh, thank you, man. Thank you very much." He's like, "Yeah, you want a napkin?" I said, I'm sorry, what?" I said, "Do you want a napkin?" And now, LA. This is where it gets weird for me. Because you see, where I'm from, napkins are the things babies wear to hold their shits. The thing for your mouth we call a serviette. But I didn't know that, so at this point, this man had just turned to me, offered me food, and then said, "You want a napkin?" I said, I'm sorry, I'm confused. Why would I want a napkin? So, man, for the mess afterwards. I said, "For the mess? How instant is it that I need a napkin?" I said, "Hey, man, you never know with tacos, man. One minute you think you got it, the next thing is coming out." I said, "That sounds like the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life." He's like, "No, it's part of the experience. Everybody does it, man." You make a mess, you clean up, you come back and try again, you know? I said, all right, that's an experience I don't want to have. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to skip it. He's like, so you're not going to try my food? I said, okay, I'll try the food, but I'm not going to take the napkin, man. He said, so what you going to do? I said, well, if it's as crazy as you say it is, I'll just eat the taco in the car on the way home. He's like, oh, you think you're safe. But you're going to be driving. Somebody swerves, you hit the brakes, splat, it's coming out. Don't be a hero, man. Just take the napkin. I said, all right, I'm not being a hero right now. I'm just being a grown-ass man, okay? Like, if it gets really bad, I'll just squeeze super tight till I get to where I'm going. He's like, yeah, that's the problem. Some people, they don't know. They squeeze it too tight, then the juice comes spraying out even more. It can spray on your pants and on your shirt and all. I'm like, on my shirt? How the hell does shit get all the way up to my shirt? What is this, bouncing on the ground and ricocheting back up? What the hell is in this, man? He's like, hey, man, you want that napkin or not? I said, I don't even know what your tacos right now, dude. So much stress. Now I love tacos. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can win cool prizes. And by prizes, I mean surprise. There's no prizes. It's a free YouTube video, you greedy. Just click the video, man. Why you want free things on free things? It's crazy. I'm loving it. Living the American life, trying to do it. It's crazy. You know, so I had to learn how to drive out here, which was fun. To get a car, obviously, which I just almost couldn't get. You have to fill out forms, and then they want your credits. And in America, credits is very important. I don't understand the concept. I'm in the car dealership, and there's this Asian gentleman helping me. We're going through the forms, and he says, so how long have you lived in America for? I said, I haven't lived here for long. He said, oh, this not good for you. This not good for you. I said, what do you mean? He said, no, you cannot lease car in America unless you've been here a long time, because then you don't have credit, okay? You don't. I said, well, I've got the money to pay for it. He said, yeah, that's not the point, okay? That's not the point. In America, okay, in this country, we want credit, okay? Our country focus on credit. If you got good credit, you can buy anything. We don't care about money. We want credit. I said, well, credit is the assumption that you can pay back the money. He's like, no, that don't count here, okay? In our country, you have good credit, you can buy anything, okay? You got good credit. He's like, our country. And I was like, look, I hate to be rude, but when you say our country, do you mean our because you live here now, or our because the Chinese own it? And he was like, it's a bit of both, okay? Yeah, but no credit for you, no car. Okay, goodbye. I had to just buy myself a car, you know, this is a horrible thing, drive around. And that's the worst thing, driving in America, wow. On the other side of the road, you feel like a rebel, you know, until you see the other cars coming, and then it's not so much fun. You know how many times I did that, just going to the wrong side? And don't trust movies. It's not easy to do that whole thing. No, people don't just drive and no, they stop. They just look at you and go, what are you doing? In the movies, you drive past. What are you doing? Aren't you supposed to? No, they don't drive. They just wait for you to turn around. And the street is so small. You're doing one of those turns, just watching them in your shame, just like it's horrible. I had to practice for months. It was the worst. I remember I drove into a street once. I thought I'd learned. It had been months. I'd been doing it well. And then I turned into the wrong way. And I saw this little old Asian lady driving towards me. And I was like, no! And there was nobody else. So I swerved the car around. I was like, whoa! I was like, yeah! Hero! And I drove, and there were 50 cars coming this way. And I was like, you bitch! And I told my friend the story. I told him this. I was like, oh, this is what happened. And he was like, oh, that's so funny, man. That's so funny. And he's like, who was driving the car? I said, a little old Asian lady. And he's like, oh, yeah, you can't say that, man. You can't say that. I said, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, you can't say she's Asian. I said, why not? He's like, yeah, because that's racist. I said, what, that she's Asian? He's like, nah, if she's a bad driver and you say she's Asian, that's racist. So let me get this straight. Asians are not allowed to be called bad drivers. Is this not racism in itself? Everyone else is allowed the world of bad drivers. But if I'm driving on the freeway behind an Asian person and they're swerving around, and I go, "This bad driver, you drive like crap." And I pull up next to them, I'm like, "Oh, no, sorry. You're not a bad driver. You're just Asian. I'm sorry." Or racism in itself. It's madness. So now what I had to do was get around using a GPS, you know? Decided to get one of those. First, I tried to be a cheapskate. I thought, oh, get a phone with a GPS. That was a horrible mistake. Bought myself one of those iPhones with Siri. Oh, your assistant, she talks to you. She listens to you. If you're American, she doesn't understand one word I say. I don't understand why. I speak English, and they're talking to her. Doom, doom. She's like, "What do you need?" I'm like, "Siri, please call Peter." "You want pizza?" No, cancel. "Siri, I need pizza." "You want pizza?" "No, Siri, I want pizza, not pizza." "You want pizza?" No, Siri, what's going on here?" "You want to, Siri, Peter, Siri. You're not making sense. Siri, are you having an attitude with me? You tell me. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Siri, just listen to me. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Siri, just, bitch. Dialing mom. What the hell? This is horrible. I had to buckle down and buy myself a real GPS to get me around, which has been working like a charm. If you don't have a GPS, you get yourself one. It's the best thing you'll ever do. Just don't make the mistake I made and buy it from Craigslist. I bought one off Craigslist, and the guy who sold it to me didn't tell me that it was a Spanish language GPS, which was not so good. I didn't understand anything she says. Look, I still get around because the arrows are in English, thank God. But otherwise, it was just horrible. And I hated it the first few days, and then I fell in love with her. She's just, you know, I don't understand why more Americans don't speak Spanish. It's such a sexy language. I'm sitting there, and like all the men in here, you want to feel like a man. You get yourself a Spanish GPS. Oh no, you don't understand. Traffic never sounded sexier. It's just like, I just punch in random destinations and she guides me around. She's like, "Dum dum. Sigue tocando que para conocer. En 200 metros sería la de la cha." And I'm just like, "Oh, shucks, Tom. You say that all the time." This is sexy, you know? She guides me around. It's beautiful. I love that. I'm going to learn Spanish because of that. Spanish has gone up my list. I had a few languages in Spanish. Spanish was like 6th language. I spoke 4 languages in South Africa. And then the 5th language was going to be Japanese. And then Spanish but now Spanish has gone up. Japanese I've had to pause because of the earthquake. There's not that many of them traveling now. So it's sad. There's no one now. Just like walk around the streets, just, you know. But Spanish has gone up. Because I was getting good at Japanese, don't get me wrong. I was getting really good. You know, I could say, and it's a great language. It's powerful. Because you speak Japanese from your chest. It makes you feel strong. Hey there. Yeah. Very strong. Whereas English you speak from the head and the chest. You know? Do you know what I mean? You speak it head and chest. You wouldn't know this. If you listen to many coastal girls in America. Like I've been in places like California where women insist on speaking English from their nose, which is not the correct. Yeah, like, "Oh my God, are you guys gonna like do this?" And I was like there with Tiffany, and we were talking, and that's not the right way. You're not using your lungs. I know this because when I choked her, she sounded exactly the same. Then she's like, "Oh my God, you're like totally choking me right now, and I can't breathe, and this is so not on. I am so gonna tweet about this. This is like the worst thing ever. Oh, I am so dying. OMG." You know, it's horrible. Whereas Japanese is strong. Japanese, you speak from the chest, you know. A lot of the Americans are learning Chinese, I've seen. You know, Chinese, I see people say, "You gotta learn Chinese. They're taking over. Chinese. Ni hao ma. Shi xing ni. Chinese." It's too late. It's too late to learn Chinese. It's over. No, it's true. Because it's also one of the hardest languages in the world. I mean, how do you learn Chinese now? Just, you know, they've got over 10,000 characters in the alphabet. You know this? 10,000 characters. We've got 26 in English. And there's still people going, what comes after Q? 26. This is, 10,000 they've got. That's super smart. Although they must have the worst Sesame Street in the world. It must suck being a Muppet in that country. I can just see them on a Monday morning singing to the kids. 5 years later. It's just horrible. Horrible. Japanese is easier. 3,000 characters in a stronger language. I mean, everything in Japanese is strong. Even the greeting. Konnichiwa. Power. Thank you. Domo. Arigato. Power. Yes, it's a great language. You can say other things as well, like kujire gambare, which means good luck, dolphin. Granted, not very usable in everyday language, but it works, I guess, it works. I could also say other things like, niwa torigaita, which means, look, the chickens are running around. You laugh, but I've used this successfully on many occasions. By many occasions, I mean once. I was in an airport, standing at the baggage carousel, and this Japanese guy came and he stood next to me. And we're standing there, and I look at him, and I've been waiting for years to speak Japanese. I was super excited. I was like, what? This guy's Japanese. And he's like, I can hear you. I said, oh, sorry, I thought I was thinking. Are you Japanese? He's like, yes, I am a Japanese. I'm like, oh. Konnichiwa. He's like, oh, konnichiwa. Pleasure to meet you. I said, oh, domo arigato. I said, oh, arigato mashita. You speak very good Japanese. I was like, oh, yeah. So I looked over and I went, kujire gambare. I'm not a dolphin. But thank you for the good luck. I was like, I can't believe this works. I looked over, I was like, oh, niwa, torigaita. He was like, I don't see the chicken anywhere. You speak a very strange Japanese. Where did you learn? I said, I learned in all different places, all over my life. Why do you speak English with a Japanese accent now? I don't know. I get carried away. You freaking me out. I'm freaking out too. You guys have been so much fun, man. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming to the show. It was 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot as well. The worst thing is everyone comes up to me and they go, well, you must be used to this being from Africa. And no, I'm not. I'm from Africa, but that shit is hot. That was just, no. I was scared to go jogging because I thought if I ran out in the streets and fainted, wouldn't the local news love that? I'd be running and I'd fall down in the heat. They would have their vans reporting live. They'd be standing there going, so hot in Atlanta, even Africans are fainting. So I'm enjoying this. Really happy to be here, This is going to be good for us, I hope. I say I hope because I never know with stand-up comedy. It's just, it's an awkward experience, I find. I'm always nervous. And I find comedy is very similar to sex for me. Well, it's exactly like sex when you think about it. With me, the comedian, playing the role of the man, and you, the audience, the role of the woman. Because it's my job to satisfy you. And you just have to sit there. And then, just like sex, my success or failure will somehow be determined by how much noise you make during my performance. Which makes it a one-sided affair, I feel, you know? Yeah, I mean, maybe you're the quiet type. I hope we have magic tonight. I hope we create something wonderful. I mean, for many of us, it's our first time together, and that means it might be awkward. I understand this. And if that's the case, I want you to know that I'll look into your eyes, I'll see that I'm freaking you out, and I'll stop. I'll stop, and I'll flip you back over, and we'll go back to the simple stuff. Okay? I've been in America for a few months now, and I'm really just thrown by the place. It's not what I expected at all. Different from the brochures and the pamphlets. There's many assumptions I had about America before I came here, and I've come to learn that those were wrong. For one, I just assumed people spoke English here. It's far from it. It's not, you know what, it's not so much the language, so much as the pronunciation of words that throws me off. It's just what Americans have done with the language. You guys have just, wow, you've done something. You've put 22s on the English language. You've got rims that has pimped my language. That's what you've gone with, you know? I don't understand. I was chatting to this woman downtown the other day. She came up to me and she wanted me to see something. I don't know what though. She was like, oh my God, look over there. I said, look over what? She's like, over there. Look at that her. And I said, her? She's like, no, her. Look, there's two of them? I understand nothing. Even the small words, just the pronunciation. You know, small things that get you by. For instance, I pronounce the opposites of uncle as aunt. I say my aunt. Out here you say my aunt, which to me is an insect, which made me look like an ass when my friend told me his aunt died. And I was like, so what? There's tons of those out there. What a great way to end a friendship. I couldn't get help the other day when searching for a battery for my remote control, because that's what I say, battery, a small form of power. Yes, in America, you say battery, which to me is a different form of power. Sponsored by Chris Brown. And you know what, I understand. We live on different sides of the globe, so it's fine. The language will evolve. This is something I've come to understand. But I hope I change one thing in your hearts forever. Just one thing. And that is that animal in the wild that looks like a horse. It has black and white stripes. Yeah, do me a favor. From now on, please, it's not zebra, okay? It's zebra. Yeah? Just like it's not Debra, it's Deborah. Same structure of word. Plus, you cannot name them because you do not have them. Zebra. This is madness. Everything out here is different. Do you know how hard it is to learn when you come out here? You have to change everything. There's the measurement system, which is just, I mean, America, you guys have your own thing, the imperial system, you know? On my side of the world, we use the metric system, and by my side, I mean the rest of the world, you know? We have the metric system, which is, amongst other things, very efficient. It's a very simple process. You know, everything goes into each other. And out here you have imperial, which is fine. I mean, I won't judge you. If you want to be imaginary, that's up to you. But I just feel like there's some consistency that's needed. Small things. Like, for instance, when we abbreviate our small measurement, milligrams, we use mg. Milligrams. Mg. Milligrams. And you guys have ounces. Ounces, which you then abbreviate OZ. There's no Z in the word, ounces. I don't know. That's pale in comparison to what you've done with pounds. That for me, please explain to me how the abbreviation for pounds became LBS. Pounds. I look like the idiot walking into the store going, could I please have the 2 labs bag of sugar? I was like, you mean pounds? I said, I don't see the P. No, I don't. She said, well, it means pounds. It's not LBS. A lot of bullshit. That's what it stands for. This is horrible. In fact, it's crazy. You do realize the imperial system is so inefficient that even American drug dealers have switched over to metric. Even drug dealers got to the point where they said, we need some order, we're going with metric. And I honestly thought this was an anomaly. I thought, you know what? This is just one of those things. It's a coincidence, but it's not. Americans do not care about abbreviation nor the English language. They don't give a damn. I learned this in the small things. Like for instance, when I was in Tennessee, I stumbled on an organization known as the Ku Klux Klan. You heard of them? Worst magic show ever. Guy gave me a pamphlet. He was like, come and see the Grand Wizard. Grand Wizard, the Grand Wizard. Didn't do one trick. Not even one trick. I mean, I noticed a few black people disappear, but I mean, that's not magic. No, that's just Reaganomics. I wasn't impressed by that. Like, where's the magic? I sat there forever. These guys running around in their sheets. Yeah, the KKK, as they're affectionately known. Has nobody bothered to tell them ever that you do not spell clan with a K? Nobody stopped. Even in America, Klan is spelt with a C. The Ku Klux Klan, they're the KKC, not the KKK. You realize that? Ku Klux Klan. The C. In fact, the name is wrong. The whole thing, the Ku Klux parts of it. That's just horrible because they got that, as you know, from ancient Greece. It was Ku Klux Alphion, meaning a circle of brothers. And that's how they got their name. They call themselves a Greek circle of brothers, which is wrong for two reasons. One, if your sole purpose as an organization is to hate black people, don't you find it strange that you've now named yourself the Circle of Brothers? And secondly, do they realize that in ancient Greece, circles of brothers were doing very different things with one another? Very loving, very, yeah. If they were really a Greek circle, the sheets would be a bit higher up, just more of a, maybe one more hole. They're not I love it. I have no problem with these things. I will learn them. I'm willing to take this in my stride, because that's not why I came to America, not to analyze the English language. No, I came to America because I always wanted one thing, and that is I always wanted to be black. You laugh, but it's true. That's all I ever wanted. I grew up in South Africa during a time known as apartheid. And for those who don't know, apartheid was a law in South Africa that made it illegal for black and white people to interact with each other, If you did that, then you would get into trouble. So for instance, there's a black young lady here sitting with the white guy. If you did this in South Africa, then they'd arrest you guys. You couldn't, during apartheid, they'd arrest the black girl. They just ask you not to do it again. And so this was awkward for me because I grew up in a mixed family, with me being the mixed one in the family. My mother's a black woman, South African, and my father's Swiss, from Switzerland. So he was a white man. And basically, he still is a white man. It's not like he changed. Sorry, I said was, like through hard work and determination, he became black, which is not, that guy's looking at me like, is that possible? It's not, no, sir. You're fine. You're 100% fine. Your position of privilege is just the way it was. Although it would be something, though, if you could work so hard you became black. That would just be, wouldn't it? That would change the workplace forever. You see guys walking into their office talking to the boss. Jim, I think I'm going to take a few days off. I don't know. I feel it coming on. I've been putting in some overtime, and I don't know, man. I just, look, I mean, the wife's loving it, but I can't take a chance. I just filled out a new loan application, and my credit's looking real good, so I'm going to take a few days off. Yeah. No, you're fine, sir. My father is alive and still very, very white. From Switzerland, my mother, Xhosa woman from South Africa. Yeah, and they got together during this time, which was against the law, but they didn't care, They were mavericks. They were just, they fought the man. My mom was like, woo, I don't care, I want a white man, woo! And my dad was also like, well, you know how the Swiss love chocolate, so he was just... he was in there. And so they got together, and they had me, which was illegal. So I was born a crime, which is something they never thought through, because as a family, we couldn't live normally together, Like in the streets, my father had to walk on the other side of the road, and he could just wave at me from far, like a creepy pedophile. And then my mom could walk with me, But if the police showed up, then she'd have to let go of my hand, drop me, and act like I wasn't hers every time, just so we wouldn't get caught. Be like, woo! She'd be like, I don't know. It was horrible. I felt like a bag of weed. And one of the punishments for this crime was I was never afforded a race. I was never called black. I was never called white. I got horrible names like mixed breed and mutt and half caste, and it was a horrible time for me. And one fateful day, I'll never forget, I met an American in South Africa. And he said to me, well, Trevor, it's funny you say that because if you come out to America, they'll label you as black. I said, really? And he was like, hell yeah. Oh yeah, everybody's black out there. And I was like, wow, well, I want to be black. And I found out it's true. Mixed race people are categorized as black in America. Yeah. The only catch is, and nobody tells you this, you have to be liked and successful first. Before then, they say you mixed. You achieve success, and you get upgraded to black. All the famous mixed people do it. Singers, like Alicia Keys and Mariah Carey, yeah? Mixed, but then they say black singers. Sportsmen, like Tiger Woods, mixed, but then they say black golfer. The most famous mixed person on the planet by far, Barack Obama, mixed, half and half, straight down the middle. But then they say America's first black president, which is interesting because when he was running, they called him the mixed candidate. I see how it works. Everyone makes it obvious now. They're like, yeah, Barack, of course he won, of course. It wasn't that obvious when he started. It wasn't. I remember comedians coming out. They used to diss him. Guys would come out on stage and be like, man, how many of y'all seen that crazy-ass mixed fool running for president? Y'all seen that mixed fool running for president? What you gonna see? Ain't no mixed fool gonna be president of the United States of America. Ain't no man, which white people gonna be voting for a mixed fool? Even a black man can't win shit. Even a black man can't. How some mixed fool think he gonna do it out? Man, that mixed fool, that crazy-ass mixed fool. How some mixed fool, that mixed fool? And then he won, and all of a sudden they were like, my nigga! So... Any thoughts on Jon Stewart coming back to that's the greatest thing ever. Are you kidding me? It's like Jordan is, that's like one of the wild, I remember talking to friends about this. I was like, I wonder if John would ever. And it's like, yeah, but John was, and he was like gone for so long. And I was like, will Jon Stewart come back? And then when they said it, I was like, of course. And in the election, you know what it's like? It's like, I love Marvel movies. Like, well, not the new ones, but like there was a bunch, when they were still like really good. You know what I mean? And this scene feels like, that moment where you don't know that a hero is going to jump into another movie? That's what it sort of feels like. It's sort of like Thor's hammer, in that scene when they're all like fighting, what's his name again? Ring guy. Thanos, thank you. Yeah, Thanos. And that scene with the hammer, that's what it felt like John coming back. And he's smart to do once a week. John and I always spoke about this. And like the hardest thing about doing The Daily Show is the fact that it's daily. It really is. It's the hardest thing about it. And John and I would always talk and we'd be like, man, if only there was a way you could just do like a day of the show. And then now I literally messaged him and then I was like, you son of a b****, you figured it out! You figured it out! God it! Godspeed, Jon Stewart! When I came to New York for the first time, he said to me, he's like, come hang out at the show with me. And so I went to hang out with him. And we had so much fun just bantering. I wasn't supposed to be on the show, by the way. We had so much fun bantering that John was like, come on the show. He's like, let's do something on the show. And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, no, let's do something. We'll make it fun. And we did. We made it fun. We had a good time. And then I left. I went back to South Africa. Then I came back. Another time, he's like, let's do it again. And I was like, all right, let's do it again. We did it again. And then I left. I went back to South Africa. Then I came back. And he's like, let's do it again. And then we did it again. And I was like, oh, this is so much fun. And then he's like, okay, I'm leaving. He's like, I'm leaving. And then he's like, maybe you should do it. And I was like, what? I felt like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It was like the weirdest thing ever. I just came for a tour. I just wanted some of the Wonka bars. And then the next thing, I'm like managing the Oompa Loompas. I'm like, I don't know how this works. This is crazy. So we talked about it a lot, Like I call him my Jewish Yoda. That's what like John is. Yeah, because he like guides me and he's like really smart and everything. And so we always talked about like, how hard it is to do something like this. And as you get older, you want to spend more time with your family, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then, And then when I heard this, I was like, yes. And the worst thing is I knew, but then you can't say to the people, So now you're walking around like, There's nothing worse than having a secret that's cool, but you can't say anything because it's still, and then, So I was just like looking at people like, oh. And they're like, what? I'm like, oh, you don't even know. You don't even know. So you're originally from Austin. Okay. All right. So what would you suggest? What's your name, man? Laurel. Laurel. Pleasure to meet you, Laurel. So you're from Austin. Where in Austin are you from? South Austin. I like how you just do. I've never been to a place where people do that, by the way. Yeah, you guys just have like compass directions. So if I were in New York and I said to somebody in the audience, where are you from? They'd be like, oh, I'm from New Jersey, I'm from Long Island, I'm from Queens, I'm from Brooklyn, I'm from... Here, people are just like, South. I'm sorry, relative to where we are now, or... What do you mean? I'm from South. It's like, we have names for places now. You don't have to have that old-time mentality anymore. People act like they're still on horse and carriage. What part of town do you live in, partner? I live south. Literally, it's just like, and I've learned there's inflections to them. So people be like, south, they say it like that. And then like east, people draw it out. They'd be like, oh, you're in east? And then I'm like, I don't know what happens in east, but I don't think I like it. Okay, so what would you recommend, Laurel from South? What am I trying to do? Something interesting, something that I couldn't do anywhere else other than Austin. Something to see, something to experience. What would you recommend? Barton Springs. Okay. What is Barton Springs? It's a natural spring. Ooh, I like that. Yes, as opposed to unnatural springs. I wonder what that would be. Right? It's like a toxic waste dump. I don't know where the water comes from, but it's great. It really is. Plus, this third arm is handy for washing my back. So it's a natural spring. And do people still go into it? Yeah, you go in? Clothed or unclothed? You wear a bathing suit. Okay, typically. So some people do not. I like the two of you. Like, I love this because you are telling me all the information and then you've got two people next to you and they're just doing hand signs. So I was like, clothed or unclothed? And he was like, and then I was like, do they do so? And then she was like, okay. Okay, so it depends on, all right. Does it depend on the day? Are there like more nude people on certain days, or? It just depends on me, like me as Trevor, like if I'm there, then it changes? Oh, just as a person. Oh, I thought you were like, Trevor, you have the power. Oh, that would have been exciting. I would have been there tomorrow like, hey, take that shit off. Laurel says so. Okay, I'm gonna Barton Springs. I will do that. Is it open every day? Do you pay to go into it, or is it just like a... You do, you pay, and then... If I say I'm from Austin, I'll get in cheaper. Okay. I like how confident you just said that. So you're like, just say you're from Austin, get in cheaper. I think something would give me away, sir. They'd be like, you're from Austin? I'd be like, yes. Can you not tell by my accent? They'd be like, what part of Austin are you from? I'd be like, very south. Very, very south. Oh, that's fun. I like that suggestion, Laurel. All right. So you're originally from here. Who's this gentleman next to you?
This is my boyfriend, Benjamin.
This is your boyfriend, Benjamin. Hey, how you doing, boyfriend Benjamin? You doing good? Yeah. How long have you two been together? About 9 years. Ooh, I like that. You still got like that cozy thing. You've got your bodies mirroring each other. You both got your legs at the same angle, smiling, having fun. Oh, this is good. Where are you from originally, Benjamin?
Kingsville, Texas.
Kingsville, Texas. Oh, you got a fan. One fan. Why did you want to live in Austin, Texas? What was it about Austin, Texas that Kingsville didn't give you? Every thing. The way he said that was amazing. He's like, everything.
Trevor, they got everything out here. They got water, they got lights, they got electricity, they got cars.
Okay, well, good for you. Good for you. Congratulations. When's your anniversary coming up? It's 9 years. When does it become 10? Wait, why are you choosing it? That was fascinating. I said, when does it come? You were both like, Like, when do we want it to be 10 years? Like, that was a weird... You were so I said, how long have you been together? You were both like, 9 years. And then I said, when is the 10th? And you were like, Is there gonna be a 10? How does 10 work? What is that? What was that delay? You don't really know? What do you mean you don't really know? You don't really know when 10 comes? What?
We're never quite sure upon the date.
Oh, you're never sure about the date. Okay, I understand. Oh, I thought you were just like, we're not sure in general. Okay, I was like, this is more conversation for therapy than comedy. Okay, you're not sure about, but is there a month that you celebrate? December. So 10 years would be December. Oh, so you just got to 9. Okay, congrats. Do you have anything planned for, like, is there a way you celebrate the anniversary that isn't on a specific day? I mean, that is a lot of fun, because, like, you can never forget it. That is cool. Like, any day in December, you can just turn around and be like, happy anniversary. That's a pretty cool way to do it, actually, you know? You've got 31 days, Benjamin. 31 days. That's a good, like, hit rate. You know what I mean? And there's days that remind you as well. Like when you see Santa, you're like, oh, Laurel. Hey, honey.
Next one's gonna be butt stuff.
Next one's gonna be?
Next one's gonna be butt stuff.
Butt stuff? Oh, man. I love how you said that with the biggest grin on your face. You're like, the next one's gonna be butt stuff. Butt stuff. Oh, that's cool, Benjamin. I like how excited you are for that, Benjamin. You really are. So Laurel's just gonna be there butt stuffing you. You'll be like...